I am once again running on caffeine in a dream.
Okay. That was too
That's the end of that sentence. I'm just putting that out there.
okay. Too far.
Ooh, moving the camera. How exciting.
Well, because I keep slouching further and further somehow. I hate when I'm like this far down in the frame.
Yeah, I feel that. Um, I've said this already, but it continues to be so over.
Yes.
They're
With
officially
regards
filming
to your
the final
shadow.
season of What We Do in the Shadows. The beginning of the end has started, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we talked about this last week, right? So I'm repeating myself. But
I
like,
know it had to end at some point,
yeah,
but I still
it's good
don't
to
want
go
it
on.
to.
I know, but I think that I think they chose a good time, to be honest, you know? Like, if they'd given me a choice, stop now or keep going, I would have said, yeah, just keep going, you know?
Well,
But
yeah.
still, I think it's a good choice of time, um, because the show was like just starting to get popular, I think. Like people were actually starting to talk about it, and they
Hmm.
were like, this is the moment.
Yeah. I don't know. I. And this is maybe kind of odd coming from me because I wasn't necessarily a fully formed adult with opinions by the time that this was already sort of well established, but TV needs to come back. Like, I don't like this whole, like, I love a good sort of, prestige miniseries or whatever, like Chernobyl,
Mhm.
one of my all time favorites. I love shit like that. But this whole thing where you get, like, 5 to 8 episodes, maybe 10 if you're really lucky, every,
Yeah.
like, 2 to 3 years, it has to stop.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially if you look at some of the broadcast series from years past. There would be like 28 episodes in a
28
season.
episodes in a season, once a year.
Yeah, like incredible. Like,
Bring that.
do you know how many episodes there are of Law and Order SVU?
Yeah, like there's so many episodes of The X Files, for example.
Yeah.
It's just like bring it back. I'm not saying abolish your sort of like very high artsy production value miniseries. They
Yeah.
have their place, but just God, bring back TV. People are so much more inclined to care about characters that they see, like once a week for most of the year, every year, then like I forget about shit in between.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's
and
deeply frustrating, honestly.
it really is. And I really hate when you are about to start a new series or something like, oh, the first season came out, I'm gonna watch it, and then you open it up and it's like 6 episodes, and you're like,
Yeah, it's
why?
like
Like
yeah,
that
what is the
Australian
point?
comedy, that Australian comedy that I brought up a few times, Fisk. It's 6 half-hour episodes per season.
And for what?
It's not like it's high production value.
No, yeah,
So yeah, I don't.
I don't get it, man.
Maybe because they know. Well, I mean, they could still release it a week at a time. I was gonna say they probably know we'd burn through it quickly. You know.
I mean, we've had this
And
discussion before. I think people miss the week to week releases,
there are some places that are still doing that though. Like
which like
they're
great.
yeah.
No, I want TV to come back.
Yeah, I do miss that. And I
Can
get
we
really
make that happen this year, please?
well that's why like I've largely abandoned like the broadcast networks, but I will watch Law and Order SVU as long as they keep making it because I've been watching that for like 20 something years.
I love it.
It started in 1999. It's about as old as you are actually.
Crazy.
Yeah. But other than that, I pretty much just abandoned it.
Yeah, bring back TV, and frankly, I think that the increasing just like general kind of awfulness of streaming services in that you are continually paying more for a shittier product is going to bring back cable.
Interesting.
Like the fact that
Yeah.
Amazon was just like, by the way, it costs more and there's ads now. No.
Yeah,
People will not stand for this.
I don't think people will go back to cable though. I think we're too spoiled by like choice, personalization.
Or like, so, I don't know. Something something's got to give, I guess, is my
Yeah.
opinion. It can't all be everything is on a separate service and you pay like for every single thing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
I think
streaming services are going to start bundling. Like they'll make a deal where it's like, "Oh, you can subscribe to Apple and Amazon or whatever." And it is eventually just going to bring like it's going to make cable 2.0.
yeah, some there are some packages like that, but they're usually within like the same like
Yeah.
parent company. But yeah, I think more and more streaming services are going to get introduced and eventually there's just not going to be enough like demand for all the products.
Yeah.
And so the ones that do better are the ones who can make quality content and not charge an insane amount of money.
Yeah, so that's,
Because like
I'm sliding in there with a late 2024 onward prediction that streaming services are going to start forming these conglomerates that is eventually going to create, your basic cable package 2.0.
I mean, not cable in the sense that it's not cable, but
Yeah, there's not physical cable, but
but
like
yeah,
it's
but like TV packages, I guess you might say.
yeah,
Like
we are going to see the return of like cable but on the internet where you just get a basic streaming package where it's like, oh, it has like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon or fucking whatever.
yeah. Yeah, which is hard to do. I guess we would need a like a cable company to emerge that would negotiate with all these different companies. But I think that
Yeah,
would be
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it'll take a little bit of time, which is why it's my 2024 onwards prediction,
yeah.
but I think we're definitely going to start to see it.
Yeah.
And honestly, in my opinion, it can't come soon enough because I'm so tired of like, and it's that every streaming service has its popular show.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're just like a TV person, or if you just like all of these shows, you have to have so many different things going at once. It's
Yeah.
infuriating.
You know how many
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I have like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and Apple TV and of course I watch a lot of Crunchyroll, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus.
No, fuck that.
That one. There's another one I have. Oh, I think I currently have AMC Plus by accident.
Fuck that. Too much.
I'm definitely missing one.
It needs
So,
to end.
yeah. Yeah, because there are so many shows that I keep up with.
Did you know Blockbuster is no longer gonna sell CDs and DVDs?
How dare.
Or no, not Blockbuster. Jesus, Bridget. Best Buy. Sorry, they both start with
Oh, that's
B, and
so great
they both
news
start
for
with B, and they both have like a black or like black, blue, and yellow logo in very like industrial font.
yeah.
But yeah, Best Buy is gonna stop selling CDs and DVDs, and I can like I'll put a link in the description. I can cite my sources, but like why are we going so backwards?
But they'll keep selling Blu-ray?
No, they are no
Oh, so
longer
like
selling
literally no
physical media.
Okay. Huh.
What?
I find that surprising. What about vinyl? Because they sell vinyl.
I have no idea how the average Best Buy stays in business anyway, because like if you go to a Best Buy, an HDMI cable is like $35 when you can get one for $9 on the internet.
Yeah, you gotta know which things to buy there. To be honest, I have a ton of stuff from Best Buy. That's where I get most of my electronics. So
I mean, like, yeah, if you're buying a new TV, that's probably the move because you need to actually like see it.
yeah.
But like any sort of accessory, what?
Oh yeah, never buy cables and stuff like that there.
No, never, never, never.
No, never.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like,
I hate watching the death of physical media. I really do. This is my message to everybody. Hoard physical media. And frankly, again, I'm going to turn this into piracy corner because of the fact that like streaming services like Disney continue doing the thing where they'll like sneak in and edit like their movies and like on the one hand going to give them half a point partial credit for the recognition that like, ooh, Some of these things are old and they don't read well anymore. So, like, half a point, partial credit there. But, one, don't just pretend it never happened, that it never existed. Like, acknowledge it. And two, if my subscription to your service or if my purchase of digital content does not equate ownership, then there is no such thing as piracy. Thank you. Hoard physical media.
It's it's sort of interesting because at the same time as like a lot of these things are being phased out to an extent, like vinyl is like more popular than it has been in decades.
Which, like, good. It should be.
Like one of my nieces, I can't remember which one, so I can't remember which age they
Mm-hmm.
are. Um, I want to say it was maybe the 9-year old, but asked for a record player for Christmas.
Hell yeah. Rock
Like,
on.
yeah, of course they watch every single movie just like through streaming and whatnot. They don't really have DVDs and
And,
things
like,
like
that's
that.
the thing. I
But
know, like, things are cyclical, and the things that are actually good are the things that do come back because, like, you don't see fucking 8 tracks coming back, and I don't think they will. So, like, sort of the best of the best cycles in and out, and that's fine, but again, hoard physical media. Because if you
yeah,
are just paying to store it on a cloud service, they can take it from you at any time. And somebody made a fantastic Twitter thread about this that I will try and unearth, where they were talking about how it's a very sort of specific, like, I've never, like, a person who has never liked anything remotely fringe, who's always like, oh, well, everything's on streaming services. Like, it's fine. I don't have to worry about any of my favorites ever getting taken down. Meanwhile, like, what was it, like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place or whatever? Like, for the longest time, you could only find that on, like, a shitty YouTube rip.
yeah,
So, like, yeah, if you only have ever enjoyed, like, the biggest, like, blockbuster films and the most popular, like, sitcoms, of course you're not, like, worried about the things that you like, being scrubbed from whatever service in the name of friggin' tax write-offs. But, like, if you've ever liked anything fringe, God, it's frustrating. Hoard it. Hoard physical media. Also, again, there's no such thing as piracy.
not even stuff that's just fringe. Like I've been trying to find Nothing But Trouble on streaming for a very long time, and I can't find it anywhere. I check periodically.
Like, Wild at Heart is not available to stream anywhere. And it's not, and, like, yes, David Lynch is an art house director, but it's not like no one's ever heard of the guy before. Like, even on, like, I was looking it up before we had to watch it for the stream, and I was like, oh, maybe if I, like, it's not something I own, maybe if I have to just pay, like, $3 to rent it this once, that's fine. But you go to Amazon, you search Wild at Heart, and it's like, oh, not available.
Yep.
Like, you can't find that movie anywhere.
No.
So just like, and again, David Lynch, while being art house, people have certainly heard of the guy. So, like, even then, like, if works from people who are decently popular in a sort of underground sense are being, like, shoved aside and, like, made borderline unavailable, then what's happening to anything that's actually, like, super super independent and, like, not backed by a big studio or by, like, a name that people know? Frustrating times in our media landscape.
Yeah, which is wild because when it comes to like digital content, it's not like it takes up a lot of space.
And that's
I
my
mean,
thing. I
obviously,
am so not anti digital content. One of my favorite things is that when you purchase a Blu ray, 99% of the time these days, they just give you a digital copy with it. That's fantastic. I can take my entire film collection wherever I want just on a hard drive if I'm, like, gonna travel or something. It's fantastic. But that is not. I don't want to trust all of my, like, favorite, like, most treasured films to just, like, the cloud.
oh yeah, but I mean, what I was about to say was that, like from their perspective, right? Like that having certain movies like Wild at Heart or Nothing But Trouble, like takes up such a tiny fraction of their their bandwidth and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's weird that they don't offer it when there are physical copies taking up space all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, it's making things digital is supposed to expand options, I guess, is the
And it doesn't. It has done the opposite. Like
yeah.
somebody did them, and I will cite all my sources for this if I can dig them up again, because I stumble upon these things just being on sort of like film Twitter, and then they come up in relevant conversation like this, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that again, but I will try. Somebody did the math, and like the variety of selection in like your average random blockbuster in any sort of fucking, backwater town was like some ridiculous number of times the selection on a streaming on like your average streaming service.
Hmm.
Like with a streaming service, theoretically, like if it's like some huge company that can buy as many of the most powerful servers as they possibly need, your selection should be infinite.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure all the choices they make are just financially based, so
Yeah, I know, which is bullshit.
yeah.
This has been media and anti-capitalism corner for this week.
This wasn't even planned. We just got
No, we
fired up.
just got really angry.
I believe the only talking point was the what we do in the shadows filming.
Well, this is what happens when you get somebody who studies media for a living and somebody who has made it her life's mission to like watch as many movies as possible on one Discord call.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have that.
You'll
That's the
have that
thing.
indeed. But tangentially related to movies, because this came up
Hmm.
after we were discussing Moonstruck on the stream. Um, what are our thoughts on getting flowers as a present?
Yeah, I had it in my notes to bring up because that's at like the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's he's talking to I can't remember what guy who's a florist. And,
Yeah, no, the guy who's in the funeral home when she's like, being
uh,
the accountant for all these like family businesses.
yeah, and he says like, oh, the guy who ordered these red roses like knew what he was doing or something, like super
Mm.
romantic. And she's like, well, that guy spent a bunch of money on stuff that's going to get thrown away anyway. And that captures my feelings on flowers.
Oh, you don't like it?
Well, I mean, first of all, anytime someone gets you something, the gesture is nice, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
appreciated no matter what it is. So I appreciate the sentiment behind it, but at the same time, especially with the cost of flowers these days, like for you to kill some flowers, put them in a vase so I can look at them for a few days and then throw them away and you're out like 40, $50, it doesn't make sense to me. Take that 40 or $50, buy me a game for my Switch.
You're
I can
so
enjoy
right. However, I am gonna push back and say they're spending money on you even though they know it isn't permanent. You're worth it.
yeah, that I'm worth more than flowers.
And I don't know,
Take,
maybe this is just because no one has ever gotten me flowers.
no, I mean, like, I would rather
And also,
instead,
finish your thought.
I would rather instead of somebody giving me flowers, like, hey, let's go out for lunch, just something like that.
Point
Gestures may
taken.
appreciate.
I am, at my core, down to my little, blackened heart and soul. I am kind of a romantic, even though it's hidden under like a layer of studs and spikes and black lipstick and all that shit. I don't know. It just sounds really nice and cute.
So, what would you rather happen? Kyle surprises you by bringing you a bouquet of flowers, or he surprises you by bringing you some freshly steamed bao.
I mean, you're right. I want the bow, but like, if he were to give, I certainly wouldn't complain if I were given.
No.
And also, like, I mean, if you're going to a florist, yes, that's expensive, but also, like, you can get flowers for a couple bucks at Trader Joe's. If somebody just gave me, like, if I got a couple daisies, that'd be cute.
Well, yeah, but you could pick those even. Jeez. I don't know.
I
To
don't
me,
know. I like being romanced.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just too practical a person, and all I see is
I
money going down the drain.
am not.
I'm
As
too just like,
evidenced by my purchase history for like the entirety of my life.
oh, I mean, I'm not necessarily practical in that way. I mean, again, I have two 3D printers, but just with, but like those to me make sense because they're something I'm going to use, right? And like in multiple contexts of my life. Whereas the flowers, again, they're literally something you buy to throw away.
No, and here's the thing. You're right, but like I want to be romanced.
I think there are better ways to be romanced.
And maybe there are, but I've also just never gotten flowers. So
I have. It's been a while, but I have.
so maybe it's just something I would like to check off the bucket list.
How about this? Would you prefer like an actual store-bought bouquet of flowers, or would it be better if they actually just went out and picked flowers and gave them to you?
Oh my god, if they went out, like that's so much
Right?
cuz they had to go find them.
Yeah. Kyle listens to this, right? just,
I don't know how consistently.
just just saying.
So maybe there'll be a report back. I don't know.
I expect him to go pick you flowers in the spring.
I don't know. It's kind of cold out, bestie.
That's what I said in the spring.
Ah, okay, cool. My headphones clipped a little bit there. Um, yeah, you know what? Let's dive right into this because I stumbled across it on Twitter and I thought it was funny, and it's probably not gonna show me the preview in any way that's helpful. Oh, look, all our pictures from Smash or Pass.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Nope. Okay, so I have to open this up. Oh boy, oh boy.
I looked at it earlier, but I want to revisit some. I didn't actually read any of the comments. Yes, I wanted to revisit the poll. Couldn't remember what it was exactly.
Okay, here. I'm gonna copy both of these images in here real quick. So it begins with Twitter user at AHH Holly posting a picture of this incredibly just circular, smooth rock with the caption, "Found the world's best rock at the beach today." And I gotta agree, that is a great fucking rock. As a person who often likes to just, pick up a rock,
yeah,
that's a great one.
something about it is very soothing to look at.
Big fan. But then there is a quote tweet of the original post by at Jesus, JAYZUS_. Perfect stick or perfect rock? Which one are you taking? And the stick, for audio listeners, is just, think of the most perfect sort of sword-shaped stick that one might pick up as a child to be like, a knight or whatever. It's long, it's perfectly straight, it's got two little branches to be like the hilt of the sword. It's the most perfect stick I have ever seen. So the question is, perfect stick or perfect rock, which one are you taking? And rock. I can't see the replies because I am on desktop. Oh wait, let me open it on my phone though. Continue.
I was just gonna say rock all day.
Yeah, something about, because I feel the stick, it feels less permanent.
Yeah, I mean, the stick is cool. It is a beautiful stick, but
big fan.
The rock, yeah, that's something you can take home, use as a paperweight.
Yeah, make it a nice paperweight.
Like, even just walking around, like, at the beach or wherever, you found it, I'd just be tossing it up and catching it. Yes. Too,
I know.
Because a lot of the people in the replies making a case for the stick are like, oh yeah, but you can, like, use it like a sword and play with it. It's like, you can play with a rock too.
I mean, yeah. And like I'm not here to diss the stick. I'm really not. Oh my god.
Did you see the poll?
No, I'm trying. It will. It just keeps taking me to the freaking app or freaking mobile. Yes,
Mm,
open in the app, please. Okay, cool. We're good. Wow. Why is everyone answering stick?
yeah.
57% of people. I like the 10% of people who answered some secret third thing.
And that's out of 159,000 votes. Yeah, so
Wow.
only 33% chose rock. Third of
Huh.
people? Really?
That is sad. You hate to
Yeah.
see it.
It makes me wonder about like what are the personality differences between people who choose stick versus rock?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people who choose stick might have more aggression in them,
And,
you know?
like, here's the thing. Not that I'm not filled with repressed rage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because like, what do you do with the stick? You're typically like hitting things with it or swinging
Mm-hmm.
it, right? You got some like, or at the very least, some energy to get out.
But also, like, what
Um,
if you break the stick?
yeah,
I would be
I
so sad.
I am neither aggressive nor do I have an abundance of energy at any given time. So to me, the idea of swinging a stick around is not really appealing. I do like a good walking stick.
This doesn't have the same vibe, though. Well,
But
I
no, I
mean,
don't
if
think
you
this is
sort
a
of
walk.
turn it upside down, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
not the same.
yeah, I don't think this is a good walking
A
stick.
walking
Not
stick needs to be more like, it has to have more Gandalf vibes.
yeah, and that I think that one's too thin for a
Yeah,
good
I
one.
feel like that would snap.
I need something that's more like gnarled looking.
Again, Gandalf vibes.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Do you think it's like a difference between extroverts and introverts?
Maybe.
Really
Yeah, I don't
overanalyze
know.
a rock versus stick
I do
preference.
wonder what the secret third thing is. Maybe the secret third thing is like a seashell. Or some
Hmm.
other fun thing one might pick up in nature.
It really someone said rock beats scissors. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Um, this other thing is not remotely a discussion. It's just something that I want to share because it's hysterical. Um, for whatever fucking reason, Fox News decided it would be a fun idea to have a tarot reader come on and do I don't know exactly what it is, but like where they pull the cards as like a forecasting, like what's 2024 gonna hold for that fucking guy who was the president.
So a reading.
Yeah, and dude, the first card that this woman pulled live on air was the death card.
Hmm.
I just wanted to put that out there. That's all. I sent
Yeah.
the link to you if you want to take a look at that, but there you have it. That is, in fact, something that happened.
Something that happened. Have you seen the tarot cards that Salvador Dali designed?
No, I haven't. That
I
sounds fun, though. Of the, like, old man artists, he seems like one of the chillest.
yeah. I mean, I like a lot of his work. I think they're pretty epic looking. I'm not into tarot and stuff like that, but I kind of want a set just because they're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not either. Um, hmm. Let's take one from the document, shall we? Ooh, I need to do some reorganizing here, but that's a problem for me later.
For future me.
Yeah, that's a problem for future me.
And future me's gonna be pissed at the current me, but
Oh, here's a fun one that also is from a Reddit post, so that means we have comments we can discuss. Without saying what the category is, what are your top 5?
interesting. So you have to pick a category, essentially, for yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't say what it is, you just say the top 5 things.
Yeah, like this person, Reddit user SW Tadpole, silicone, glass, ABS hard plastic, steel, aluminum.
So, building materials?
Sure, maybe. What? Oh, well, that one's obvious. That one's just fruit.
Yeah, that's why, like, I keep trying to think of things and they're all super obvious. Unless I do something like super esoteric.
What in the world? Okay. Diazepam, alcohol, ASMR, smoking, giving up and laughing at problems instead.
Forms of self medicating.
Okay, yeah.
And biscuits.
Yeah, some of these are really obvious.
Yeah. I think it's hard to find that kind of spot between obvious but also completely unfigureoutable.
Right?
That's why I'm trying to like go through different things in my head because I could like name my top 5 favorite communication theorists or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's not going to make sense to most people. Top 5 favorite cats.
Toilet paper, ice cream, sweet tea, Windex, zip ties.
Hmm. Nope.
Yeah, could not tell you.
I feel like that's probably one that's like super personal to them.
Oh, I'm certain.
Like, items they keep in a certain drawer.
Mmm. See, now that you've put that out there, okay, here's what we got. Uh, bamboo utensils, ibuprofen, a wine corkscrew, concert earplugs, and a mirror.
Is that like a junk drawer type thing?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Sounds like a medicine cabinet.
It's my top 5 things that I keep in my Kunkin bag.
Oh, okay. That's that blue bag.
Yeah, I pride myself on being the friend that has literally anything you could possibly need at all times. So I got a lot of stuff in there.
The mom friend.
Yeah, except I'm probably less responsible. I just have a lot of things.
Hmm. Everybody has to be the mom friend a little bit sometimes.
I do my best.
Should be anyway.
You don't actually have to try and come up with anything if you don't want to.
I mean, I keep thinking, but everything is like super obvious.
Mm.
Because like, if I try to do a list like Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer,
Favorite anime.
yeah. So because I looked over and I still have my Agnesca right there.
Is that comfortable? He's sleeping like just as though he's being poured from the beanbag.
Aww.
Hi, bud.
I've seen you on breakfast. Top 5 favorite nap spots for her.
Yeah, there you go. But every single spot is just wherever mom is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Were you trying to give me your paw just now? Okay.
Oh, so helpful.
She went like that toward my hand.
She's sharing.
Oh, I see sweet.
So sweet.
You're blending in with my back pants.
That's what voids do.
Yeah, it still gets me every time when she's in a relatively dark place and it just looks like there's a pair of eyes in there. And I only know she's blinking because her eyes disappear. Like the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never gets old. And I've had them for years.
I saw a sheet of stickers today where it was black cats, but it was like just a void, and you had to sort of like it just looked like a bunch of eyes on a sheet of black paper, but it was all black cats. And you had to like find out the shape of the cat by like peeling the sticker off and seeing what came up off of the paper.
I mean, she's technically not a complete void. She's got her white patches, but
Close enough.
I mean, she has just a few hairs on her chest, but if you can see her little white undies, she's got a pretty substantial.
I think it's so funny that she just has panties on, essentially.
Yeah. Yep, because they're just between her. It's just between her back paws on her belly.
Girl, why you like that?
So that's the thing is that like most people never see it because she's scared of everybody. She's not going to be like showing her belly.
Yeah. Although you can see that Oliver has never finished his eyeliner.
Yeah. Cats are fun.
Cats are so fun.
Throwing this into my leg.
He made me late for work this morning because he was cuddling so nicely.
I sent you snap. Yes, this morning. I'm very tired.
We're doing our best.
Where like I had all this stuff I was trying to get done, and she was on my bed just doing air biscuits, rolling around, just doing this repeatedly in the air, like on her back and stuff.
They're evil. They are evil. They know. What he started doing now is that he knows that I leave in the mornings, so he started hiding under my bed. Because I shut him out of there in the day because there's things in there that I don't want him like getting bored and deciding to mess with. So I shut him out in the middle of the day, or like when I leave in the morning. He's started hiding under my bed where I can't reach him when I'm about to leave in the morning. So I have to either like crinkle one of his toys, or one of the things I've started doing, because I have to brush his teeth because he still has gingivitis because he's a nasty boy. But I got one of those like 360-degree like silicone bristle cat toothbrushes or whatever, and he's obsessed with the toothpaste because it's like, I don't know, tuna flavored or whatever cats like. So what I have to do is I either have to crinkle one of his toys, I have to shake the little container that I keep his toothbrush in, and I feel bad about this one and I only do it when nothing else is working because it's like I'm lying to him. I have to shake the treat container.
Yep, that's the one foolproof way. It will always draw them out. Even when she's like in the basement terrified, she hears the treats, she's
skidding, Tokyo drifting.
Yeah.
If I had wood floors in this apartment, oh my god.
He would never be able to get up speed because he would just be...
No, the lack of traction would be insane because he'll like, you've been in my kitchen, there is a minimal cover of like laminate that looks like hardwood, and even then, even just coming around like the one tiny corner where like into the kitchen where the fridge is, if he hears the treat can or like container shaking, Tokyo drift.
Well, it's a pretty hard right, you know.
Yeah, but like if I had like along the hallway,
again, I don't think he could get up the speed he would need to get, because I think he would be trying so hard to run that his paws would just be sliding, you know, and he would sort of like burning rubber, you know.
I could definitely see that. He is a very he's like not scared, he's just easily startled. Like he doesn't actually fear anything, he's just jumpy.
He's excitable.
Yes, he's very excitable.
Doesn't take much.
No, it does not. Sometimes it takes nothing. He just goes tearing through the house and smashes his whole face into the window for
For cat
reasons
reasons.
unknown.
Cat reasons.
I wish I understood this boy. I really do.
I don't.
No, you think it would... Actually, yeah, I think understanding him would make me stupider.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
by a significant margin.
Yeah.
Ain't that just the way? But seeing as we've been going for a little while, and our weekly worsenings lately have tended to be kind of rambly, I think that's gonna... Yeah. I think we'll do that now.
Yeah, I just want to mention I wasn't proposing a name change. I was proposing a supplement to help explain the worsening
Yes.
and calling this fatiguing, wow. Um fixating with friends.
Yeah, it's essentially hyperfixation corner.
I really wanted alliteration because and I was like hyperfixating doesn't work. Let's go with fixating.
Yeah.
Fixating with I was real proud. I thought for a very long time.
I mean, I dig it.
It's not super clever, but I was proud that I came up with something. Um, yeah.
Would you like to go first, or shall I?
I actually didn't think about it in advance this week. I usually do. That's strange of me.
Hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
The video game gremlin in me has awakened. Something about playing a bunch of games in rapid succession while slightly inebriated during the New Year's Eve stream, unlocked, tore down a wall in my brain, and now the only, I games, I want to play games at all hours. I want to be at my computer doing gamer girl things. I'm probably going to continue that playthrough of Metro that I started, because I love that game and I haven't played it in forever.
You went through 6 games or something?
Yes, I did. I was very indecisive.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was sitting here not being able to tear my eyes away from the model I was trying to design.
I mean, I'd say we crushed it.
Yeah. Just fixating on different things. I suppose that's just description of the podcast.
Pretty much. But yeah, the video game gremlin in me has awakened from its slumber and is screaming for constant stimulation, essentially.
Mm-hmm. I get that feeling.
Which is just so great as a person who, already kind of doesn't have time.
Yeah, I think that's the problem when you're a person who fixates, because then, you don't have time for the thing that you're fixating on, so that just takes away from all the things that you're, supposed to be doing, like sleeping, at least for me, is sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
Oh, and also maybe this is just me, actually being worse, not in a fun way. I have to take melatonin again.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's something lately where I've just been and it's not even that I'm up thinking about something horrible. I just have too many thoughts.
Yeah. Hey, you should try that self-medicating list that somebody made.
I'm already such an ASMR girly. I love that shit. I don't care that people think it's cringe or creepy or whatever. Current having to take melatonin notwithstanding, that shit knocks me out.
Yeah.
Love it. That is an integral part of my nightly routine, and I am not remotely ashamed to admit it.
Sure. As long everybody has their things, and as long as they're not hurting anybody or otherwise doing damage.
And frankly, I'll even offer some detail. I love ones where it's so I'm doing your makeup, and I'm gonna tell you that you look so great, and you're so pretty, and brushy. It's fantastic. Love it. Makes me feel good.
know if it counts as you being worse, but you did ask me to make a t-shirt today.
I was gonna leave that for you because I gave you an excuse to play with your Cricut.
Oh.
But yes, I did ask her to make me a t-shirt. The first of probably many.
And of course, I immediately was like,
Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I know. That's how I knew you were excited, because you, like, responded to a text message in a timely manner.
well, you caught me at a good time because I was making mac and cheese for lunch, and it was just watching the noodles cook, and I was bored.
Glad to be of service.
So I stopped responding when my noodles were done.
Fair.
Yeah, you asked me to make a t-shirt that says baby's first mosh pit. And,
Which is how I hope to not get trampled when I do actually enter a pit. Because on my bucket list for this year, very high, two of the highest things on my bucket list: enter a mosh pit, crowd surf.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be cool. I want to be scary.
But you wanted it to look like blood, which I'm in Cricut Design Space, like looking through the fonts, and you can search like by keyword. And I looked up blood, and I'm like, this is feeling silly.
It happens.
So then I started playing around with different words like horror and stuff like that. So yeah,
yes, and I have to look at the potential options. Oh, yeah, and he just poured himself out of the beanbag. And we're just napping on the floor. Didn't even move. Wow. He's just like stretched and then just sort of like bloop, onto the ground. And he's fine with it, apparently.
Yep. He's cat.
Oh, you bizarre little man. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so basically any excuse to play with my Cricut. We can also like toss in some like goth imagery. Just like a couple little bit, like a little skull or something,
Stop giving me ideas.
Well,
it's the last thing I need.
You can also look through all the different images and stuff they have. Which again, I have a subscription, so I have access to all of them.
Well, that might be a way that I waste some time before bed tonight.
It is, like, there's something very addictive about looking through all the fonts in particular, because there's more than 1,000 fonts on there.
Shit, dog.
Yeah. And so, like, every time I'm making a new thing, I'm like, what kind of keyword do I want to search by? Like, what's the vibe of this thing? I tried putting in, like, spooky and stuff.
Hell yeah. I love it.
You get real mixed results. I guess my official worsening is more just 3D printer brain rot.
How is that going?
Well, actually, the table I ordered for my new printer just arrived at like 6:15, and I got it mostly assembled before we started at 7.
Okay, slay.
Yeah, it's sitting right here, very much in the way. I got all the debris out of the background, but I didn't have time to finish it.
Nice.
So I'm really excited to see. Hopefully, the table is dirty enough and all that, and figure out how I'm gonna arrange things. So that's pretty exciting, but I think even more than that is that I've been trying to teach myself CAD.
Godspeed.
And I say, like, teach myself in a way that is probably doing things wrong, right? Like incorrectly, but I basically just downloaded Fusion 360 and just went to town. And I thought, like, so this is I left for me. Like, there's my missing wrench. Hold on for the full effect here. I designed my little tool holder for my 3D printer tools.
Okay, but like that's adorable.
Yeah, and it's got perfect size holes like for the Allen wrenches and all the other parts. Like, yeah.
I love it.
The other problem was I made it magnetic, and these magnets are not nearly as strong as I thought they were. But so it's not really working out that way. But that is technically the third iteration of it. The first couple didn't quite turn out, but
so proud.
Then I set to work on the sign for our table.
Oh shit! Wow, you did that fast.
I haven't printed all the parts yet. I just printed the shortest word just as a tester.
Cool. I mean, that
Yeah,
sure does look like a word.
yes. Um, and I had to design like supports that are gonna like hold it up at the right angle and everything
That's
for
so
my base.
fun. I love it.
So I hope it turns out the way it's supposed to, but I thought it was pretty fun.
Oh my god, Slay. I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So it's it might not seem like it's that difficult, but it took me a while to figure out like how do I make designs, like how do I make these little supports between the letters and the words that
Oh,
like
I'm sure
fit
it is.
because I want them to like mold to the letters. I figured it out.
We love
So
to see it.
fingers crossed it turns out. Technically, this is the second printing of this word. The first one I didn't think it was big enough.
Hmm.
So
Well, I'm very excited to see how this evolves.
yeah, so it's like the little sneak preview of it. I think it'll look cool.
Exciting times all around. And also, speaking of, I guess, sort of con things, I guess this is just another, again, hyperfixation corner tidbit. Uh, just I continue with the cosplay shit.
Hmm. Yeah.
I finally finished sanding my shoulder plate for
Oh.
Vessel, and I started painting it today, and it's it's looking real good. Not to toot my own horn, but it's looking pretty good.
Standing 3 prints is lame. I don't like it.
Yeah, you should wear a respirator for that.
It takes a while. I know, but I sand things all the time. I fixed my hog nose.
Oh,
Got
wait,
him
is
all
that
sanded.
is that Harley size?
No, it's well, no, it's too big. I mean, it's semi close to his length, but it's too thick. He's
What a
a skinny
runt!
little. Yeah, he's got to be full grown too, because he's like 3.5, right? Probably full grown. I don't know.
Perhaps
Yeah,
he's
but
just like that.
I spent a huge amount of my time playing with the 3D printer and the CAD program, and um, for the most part, aside from this word and that snake, I have only been printing accessories for my 3D printer.
I use the stones to destroy the stones.
Like different little modifications. Like I printed a new spool holder that mounts on the top, all these like little cable clips.
I mean, hey, if it makes your life easier.
Yeah. Um, but I was like really fixating on it because the day I got it last Thursday, so 6 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was up until 6 a.m. playing with it, and
Jesus
that
Christ.
yeah
That's like when we used to like not be able to physically be in the same location and we would just stay up until 5 a.m. drinking on Zoom.
yeah. The problem is I am a natural night owl, but
It
it's
is
not
the number
conducive.
one struggle in my life is that I am wired to be a night person.
Yeah, like I'm always the most productive at night, like in
No.
the
And
middle.
like what is it?
I don't know, and then I struggle in the morning, and
Yeah. No. Like my alarm goes off and I'm like, what if I just passed away
yeah,
instead? Like
yeah,
that's like my alarm goes off and that feels like a viable option. I will do anything in the morning for like 5 more minutes of sleep. It's horrible. And like I know
yeah,
that like I'm making my problems worse by like hitting snooze and doing that stuff, but like my alarm goes off and I would rather cease to exist.
yeah, yeah.
It is my ultimate struggle. If anyone has any tips, please help. I am accepting them all. Because I have
Yeah,
tried things. I tried putting the alarm clock on this other side of the room, so I have to like get up and turn it off. I have multiple alarms. I have them set on my phone, and I have a physical like alarm clock with like bells that's loud as shit. Nothing helps. Even like
mine.
waking up in the summer when there's actual like it's getting brighter outside. That helps. Even that only helps the tiniest bit.
I have
Help
a
me.
an alarm clock that simulates the sunrise, so it wakes you up like very gradually and gently, and so it's like kind of like you're being woken up by the sun on a weekend morning, which is nice. and it plays like really gentle type sounds to like very gradually wake you, which I think is important because alarms can be jarring and that makes it harder.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I'm waking up more naturally. But also, it has a feature called Power Wake that you can set for a certain amount of time after your alarm so that if you haven't gotten up by then, it goes off. And I will do anything in this world to avoid hearing that sound.
And here's the thing.
I will go of the earth.
I hate the sound of my like really loud ass like analog alarm clock. Like if I wake up and I see that and like it's like a couple minutes before my alarm is supposed to go off, like it just happens that way. Like I will do anything to not hear it, but even then, sometimes that's not enough.
You should hear my Power Wake. It's what's the closest sound I can describe it as? Sort of like an old-timey phone ringing, but very shrill.
Okay.
And then it just flashes bright lights the whole time.
You're gonna need to send me the link to this object. Maybe this will finally be what helps me.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's one of the best purchases I've ever made in my life
Noted.
But I love that thing. Plus, it has a sunset feature to kind of like gently lull you to sleep, and it can play like waves and like that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that very gradual, gentle with the light in the morning.
Oh my! There's nothing worse than when the alarm like pulls me out of a dream.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather walk into the ocean.
Occasionally, the light wakes me up before the alarm even goes off. Like the light will be just bright enough where I'm like, "Oh, what's going on? Oh, my alarm's going off in 5 minutes."
Yeah, maybe this will be the thing that finally fixes me. Probably not, but it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. 5 stars.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back again next week. We'll see you then. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at brkelly98 and at @AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider subscribing to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!